Hey guys, I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know what's going on with camp, give you an update, what our plans are moving forward with camp. I know you guys have been asking a lot of questions, and up until yesterday, my answer to those questions regarding whether or not we were having camp was yes, we're still planning on it. We don't know what it will look like, but we're going to do our best to figure it out. There was two big logistical things that we were struggling with, trying to figure out how we could do camp this year. The number one was social distancing. I know you guys are tired of that term. I'll be honest with you, I'm tired of hearing it. We were made to be together. We're a community-driven people, and it's difficult. But we knew that if those recommendations were still in place in June, it would be very difficult for transportation, for sleeping arrangements, for how we would dine, how we would do our conferences and stuff. There was a lot of questions involved of how we could work through those challenges, but we were willing to do whatever would be required to be able to make it happen. The second challenge that we knew that we would face was finances. Trips like this are not cheap, they're expensive, there's a lot of cost involved, transportation cost for being able to get you guys in the conference itself as far as conference fees, sleeping and food and all those different things. And we knew that we would not be asking for a second deposit from you guys because if we're to be really honest, right now there are families, even in Roane County, that are struggling financially due to loss of work, not being able to work. And so we didn't want to aid to that. We didn't want to add to the financial burdens. And so we were willing to step out on faith as a church and be able to make this trip still happen financially. But we knew that if we could work through these obstacles and we could make these obstacles happen, that ultimately the decision would still be in the hands of the Scott Dawson conferences. And so I was waiting and waiting to hear, and they kept saying, listen, we are trying our best to make this happen. And then as of yesterday in a conference call, Scott said, hey, we have done everything possible. We have tried. And he said, I have fought for this harder than anyone, and it's just not going to be possible this year. And I know that some of you guys that really, really is upsetting to hear. I know some of you guys it's really hard to hear. But I want to let you know that the Lord knew. He knew when this year started what was going to be possible and wasn't going to be possible. And He's not leaving us alone. He's not leaving us by ourselves. We are in His presence and we are in His care. And He's got a plan. He had a plan all along, and I really believe that although this may be difficult, there are going to be better things to come. We just have to have faith and trust that. I want to let you know that I have been praying for you guys, that I continue to be praying for you guys. We're here for you guys. Parents, if you're watching this, I want you to know that we are here for you, your family, whatever struggles that you're going through as a church. We love you guys. We're praying for you guys as well. Now, I think the ultimate question now is what about the money that we've put down? Is there a refund? What is the refund policy? How are you guys handling it? Well, I was listening intently, trying to figure out what they were going to do, because originally the Scott Dawson conferences, the way that they operate is, you understand there are costs involved with renting facilities. There's costs involved with renting equipment and people to be able to man the equipment. There's a lot of money poured into the front end as far as planning, paying people to plan, pay people to organize all of the different things that was to take place. There's a lot of money involved when it comes to these events. And so typically their policy is, if there was a natural disaster, that everyone would get all of their money back minus $89. And they would have to keep that to be able to help cover some of the costs that they would have involved in rentals and all this other stuff. Well, upon listening to Scott and hearing his heart, he said, we did not want to put that burden, that $89 burden, on the people that have paid and who have put all their effort and time fundraising and getting things together for this. He said, we wanted to do better. And so they said we would give a refund of everything minus $30. And so I'm really, really proud to hear that, and excited to hear that they would step out in faith and that they would step out in generosity to do that, because I know that these conferences are expensive. But I was inspired by it. I said, I want us to be generous too. And I talked to a few people and I said, listen, here we are, we're a church, and we know that you guys are struggling, you're dealing with some financial things too. We want you to get 100%, all the money that you've paid in, we want you to get it all back. And so I know some of you guys have paid with checks, and I want to address you first. If you've paid with a check, some of your checks, some of you guys who have paid with checks, those checks have been deposited into the church's account for camp, and they have been processed. Some of those checks have not been deposited or processed yet. So if you have a check that you've paid and it's not been processed or deposited, then consider it that you have been refunded, because it never went anywhere. It never got deposited in the first place. Now, for those of you who have deposited money, that have had money that was deposited via check, we are going to be refunding you, and we're going to be refunding you soon, and it will be via a check written to you. And those of you who have paid with cash, we will be writing checks and handing those out as well. We want to make this as convenient as possible, so we are going to mail those checks out to you. We're going to get those out to you. I ask that you be patient. This may take a week or so to get everything processed, to get everything put together, but I want to let you know those are going to be going out. Also, if you have any questions regarding refunds, any questions regarding just camp in general and why it was canceled or anything, please don't hesitate to email me at jonathan.tsbc@comcast.net, and also don't hesitate to call our church offices. We'd love to talk to you, answer some questions, and be able to navigate this with you. I want to let you know, families, that we're praying for you, that we love you, that we care for you, and that we are here for you. Anything that you may need, we want to be the hands and feet of Jesus in your life. I want to let you know that this is not the end. Students, I know it's difficult. I know that there's just so much stuff that big important moments in your life that are being canceled or postponed, and I want to let you know that God knows. I told you at the beginning of this year that I felt like God was going to do something big this year, and I'll be honest with you, this was not what I had in mind, but I still believe that this is a part of it. I believe that God steps in and He takes situations like this and He uses them for His glory. He can take broken pieces, He can take all the hurts and all the pains, and He can make them something beautiful. It says that He works all things together for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. I believe that He wants to do that in this season. So if you are disappointed, if you're feeling heartbroken over this, I want to let you know, I understand. I understand where your pain is. I understand. I know that you must be upset. It's hard, but don't give up. Don't lose hope. Keep putting your hope in Jesus. Keep having faith. This is but a season. Let us walk out of the season with more knowledge in the Word than we had before. Let us walk away closer to the Lord than we were before, so that the next season we may be richly blessed and encouraged. I want to let you know that we're here for you. Don't hesitate to reach out. I love you guys. Any questions, again, don't hesitate to call or email us. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you.